Hey Boo Hey. Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 8, titled Humpsville, Alabama. Let's dissect, shall we? So the episode started off with Martell and Chris, and they're at Martell's property that he is getting together to move Ariana and the family in. And Chris made a joke saying that he been hanging around Ken too long. He acting like Ken. And my question is that a fair assessment to make? At first, while I was watching it, I giggled because it's kind of like, it's funny because it's true. But then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, no, that's not true at all. Because there's a complete difference in the two. It just doesn't compare. It just doesn't. But he is really going through with getting this house together and moving Ariana in. I wonder, has she moved into it yet? I don't know if Ariana goes live like that a lot anymore. I really don't go to her lives much. But I wonder, did she move into the place? Can anybody confirm that? Now, Chris also brung up, him and Marsau. And he made a fair assessment. I think this one is a fair assessment. That Martell and Marsau are both being a couple of little bitches, basically, between the two. This whole thing between Marsau and Martell has gone on for a long time. 6-7 years, because Marsau is absolutely keeping track. And, when they talked, and they talked it out, they did talk it out. And I would have to say that this is the most like men that they have actually had a conversation with each other and actually came to each other, approached each other as men. They talk, they have their differences. They both feel like the other speaks on the other and what they say isn't true. Martell is still 10 toes down on, maybe I was wrong for saying what I said, but I'm not lying about what I said. And while Marsau is, I don't talk about you unless you talk about me, and it's always lies. You and Ariana always got your name in my mouth, basically, and Martell feels the same about Marsau and Tish. I would like to bring up in this conversation that Marsau did in fact refer to Ariana as his fiance. Just saying. And he put some emphasis on that, like, say word, Martell, say word. And I love that he is actually sticking up for her now and all of this stuff. However, I wish you would have had a little bit more of this energy when Mel was still on the show. I think that would have gone a long way and shown a lot. But, Ariana is happy either way. She is kicking and, kicking her feet off to the side in the bed, just having a good time. She is not worried about anything. This is like great for her. She is getting her name all up on these episodes. And all I got to say is, at this point, bring the girl on. How long are we going to continue to beat around the bush and not let this girl come on? She is like the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th cast member that has never been on. Put her in, coach. What are we waiting on? It's about that time. But at the end of the conversation, the two agree that they are going to keep each other's name out each other's mouth. And hopefully this can start them continuing to get their shit together and become friends again. Because it's very unfortunate that it has gone this left between Martell and Marsau. It just really has. And before I get into the whole Trish and Ken situation, I just want to give a big, giant, huge big ups to Marsau. I ain't even gonna lie, I got a little misty in the face watching this scene. And there's a reason. Because this whole time we have been watching this show, we haven't seen a lot of the kids, but we know they exist. We follow them on their Instagram, so we see them growing up, maturing, becoming, young adults, all of this good stuff, right? And we don't get to see that happen a lot on the show. So when we got to see Marsau having a pedicure date with his daughter. This was, it just, I don't know what it was about this scene, but it just felt so beautiful, so pure, and so genuine, and showing the father-daughter dynamic. It was just beautiful. And being able to see personally their father-daughter dynamic, it just really touched my soul a little bit. You know, Marsau getting his pedicure, getting the pink glittery on the toes for his daughter. It was just, I don't know. I just loved watching this scene. And this is what I'm saying. We don't have to always have the drama going on in order for it to be a good episode. This is the type of things we should be seeing. And I loved that they showed this. Even play Never Have I Ever. It was so cute, so innocent, so fun. And the way that he made sure, you know, he wants to spend time individually with each child to let them know, you know, I love you individually, not just as a whole, but knowing your children. And I just loved it. I just loved it. Now on the kitchen trend, Trouble in Paradise. They're taking a break, but Ken is still in the house. And, you know, Ken calls up Will because, you know, Will, we all know how Will feels about Ken and Trish's relationship and how he thinks of Trish. We have seen Will on the show for, you know, a good minute now, so we know how he feels and where he comes from. We've heard him be very vocal, and so when, you know, the little breakup or whatever happened between Ken and Trish, of course he's going to call Will over, because he can bash her any way that she wants, and Will is going to accept it and probably encourage it a little bit, because you know how he feels. He's always trying to have Ken back, don't want Ken to look stupid and all of this stuff. So when Ken explains what happened or whatever, you know, she walks past without saying hi or whatever. First of all, yes, that was wrong. And I could just imagine, he said it was awkward afterwards. So that means his boys was probably like, damn, what's good? Why this? Why that? And he has to give an answer. Meaning he has to explain and he has to do all of this. And damn it, at some point you get tired of doing that. Because why I got to keep doing this? Why do I have to keep explaining myself? Why do I got to keep telling people, no, I ain't a punk? Why do I have to do this? So yeah, Ken is tired of that shit. And I get that. Because girl, why you couldn't just say hi? What did it hurt you to say hi? But, however, when he explained it to Will, he didn't mention the fact that as soon as all of that, he got irate and started saying, give me back this, give me back this, give me back that. And we know that that is Ken's go-to. Now, while I feel that how she plays in Ken's face about their relationship and not, you know, marrying him and all this stuff, or trying to get closer to marriage, it's some effed up shit. But Ken, when you're upset, the first thing you want to do is take this, take that. And that's some effed up stuff. And then when, at the point, when Trish was explaining her side of it all, and she was saying how automatically he just started talking about, give me this, I'll take this, you know, whatever, I'm paraphrasing. But when she said that Xavier came down and slapped the keys on the table or whatever, like, take it back, that was like, damn. And that's why I'm like, Ken, that ain't cool. Because, you know, you getting the kids involved. You've gotten things for the kids and you want to take all of that back too. But then it takes me back to say, Trish, what is going on with you? Why are you allowing men in your life that you ain't even married to? Of course, you think you're going to get married to him anyway. But allow him to do all of these grand gestures for your children. Why can't you get Xavier a car? And he ain't even got to worry about if a man going to leave you and he going to take his car back. Like, that's not something Xavier should have to worry about. But Xavier about to leave soon, like Destiny and Sharon said, and you cannot use that as a basis. They are toxic. I feel that they should not be together. This is going to go on a little bit more, but either of them, both of them are wrong and right in a lot of instances. And it was just crazy. But we're going to get the rest of that because, you know, that's not over. We'll get more of that situation on the next episode. But that's about the basis of what happened this episode. There you have it.